A collection of masks transforms a young man known as Each into innumerable different beasts and monsters. Using this ancient power, he embarks on a battle that pits the indigenous people of Colombia against the encroaching Spanish Empire. But can one man hope to beat back the massive forces of the conquering Spaniards? Hey everybody, welcome to another exciting episode, another edition of A Week in Geekdom here on YouTube. Thank you for liking and subscribing, and as always, you guys are the best. Now, if you know me, I like to read really weird titles for you guys and bring you quirky, independent reviews, I think. I don't know yet. Is that a thing? Anyways, I'm talking about Brutal Nature. Now, I hope I'm saying this right. It is written by Luciano Saracino and illustrated by Ariel Olivetti. Holy crap, guys, this book looks fan-freaking-tastic. It is a beautifully drawn and illustrated book. This Indian called Each, and I'm gonna call him Each because he is Colombian, and Each sounds Spanish enough for me, so I'll call him Each, which sounds like an itch. So I don't know how that goes, but bear with me. Yeah, this guy basically is a superhero. He has this mysterious pouch where he stores these masks, and he can transform into different mythical Indian related beasts and stuff from like myths and legends and all that stuff, and just kick the living crap out of his enemies. He transforms into totally different animals and monsters and all that stuff. So yeah, the character of Each is basically trying to defend the people of Colombia against the invading Spanish forces. Good luck with that, because we all know how that turned out. But the character along the way meets some people. He becomes friends with other people, and not a whole lot happens. And that's one of my major complaints about this book. It is a beautifully crafted book. It's only 4 issues. I assume we're gonna get more stuff. It is a very light read. As you can see, it is a very thin trade. I'm just left wondering, like, okay, it's a cool story, don't get me wrong. It's fascinating, but it just spins around and does nothing for a couple issues until it gets going again by the last issue, and then we're done. Each is an interesting character. There's not a whole lot of character development at all. There's like one scene of exposition with him figuring something out, and that's it. The rest of the cast is composed of random villagers A through Z. There's this one girl that I think she's like a priestess, and then you have your generic bad guys, which are the Spaniards. They were a bunch of assholes back then, but overall, I'm not dissing on anybody. I'm just recalling all my history lessons, and yeah, they were pretty savage to the natives, so yay. But really, the true strength of this comic book is how it is beautifully rendered by Olivetti's art. It just looks phenomenal. Some of the backdrops I didn't like because they looked a little bit too photorealistic for my taste, or maybe that's what they did. But yeah, great looking art, greatly detailed, the character designs and the monsters and everything, and it just, the name says it all, Brutal Nature. It is a very brutal comic book. It's not for kiddies. It is very explicit. There is some brief nudity somewhere in there, but overall, man, it is fantastic. Even though the story just spins around a little bit and goes nowhere in the middle section, by the end you get this really ominous ending that I appreciated, but I would have preferred something completely different in my opinion. There should be more, because this is a volume 1, so I'm very much interested in seeing how the story progresses. There is a hint, like a stinger scene at the end, where you're like, interesting. But if the book got canceled and this is all there is, I'm gonna be disappointed. But overall, I think it's a very interesting read. We don't get a lot of characters like this, so I really appreciated what they did with our main lead. There is somewhat of a villain, although you could say the whole Spanish conquistador thing as a whole, they could be the villain, but there is a villain here somewhere in that book, and we don't know much about him to say like, oh my god, this guy is like pure evil, but on face value he kind of is. So if you like your stories about this underdog trying to save a nation, trying to save a people from this oppressing force with this hint of supernatural power, then by all means go and pick up Brutal Nature. I was impressed mostly because of the art. The story was great, but it could have been a million times better. So yeah guys, thank you once again for watching another installment, another episode here at A Week in Geekdom. As always, like and subscribe, and if you have read Brutal Nature, tell me what you thought of the ending and the villain, because I want to talk about it, but I don't want to spoil it just in case. But tell me about it down below in the comment section if you've read it. Yeah, as always, follow me on your favorite social media platform, from Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, and Periscope. Just type A Week in Geekdom and I'm there for you guys. Alright, I gotta go. I've got to review another book, and look, I'm gonna tease it right here. It is something very awesome, and next review I'm gonna be talking about Tokyo Ghost Volume 2, which is just amazing, and I can't wait to dig into that. So thank you once again guys. I will catch you on our next installment. Thank you for tuning in to another installment. You can keep the conversation going through your favorite social media platform. You can like and subscribe to our YouTube page, follow us on Twitter, like our fan page on Facebook, and favorite our pics on Instagram. You can also write to us for feedback, suggestions, and such via aweekingeekdom@gmail.com. Until next time. Brutal, or brutal, as we say in Spanish, because it's awesome.